Welcome back to Transport Fever 2, everybody. I hope you're having a good one because I am excited to be back. Today is going to be an interesting one because we're going to be extending our network. We're going to be moving some trains from Detroit down to Amarillo, down to Lafayette. We're going to be moving some bricks down there, and I've realized that both Amarillo and Lafayette happen to want food. So in theory, if we could manage to get more food into Philadelphia, we could take that down there as well. And by if we could manage, I mean, I think we could probably manage it because at the moment we're making quite a bit of food over in Fargo. And there is actually quite a lot of it just sitting around ready to go into Fargo itself, which reminds me, we probably want to go and replace some of these vehicles with those guys right there and speed things up a little bit. And that'll hopefully help out Fargo. But what I'm thinking is that we can very, very simply set up a line that goes from Philadelphia to Detroit, which already exists. But essentially, it starts in Philly. It can pick up a bunch of food. It comes down to Detroit. It picks up a bunch of bricks. It comes down to Amarillo and drops half of those off, and then drops the other half off in Lafayette. And then it can head back and do its thing. It could pick up some things down here, or it could not. I mean, the train's going to run empty for half of the journey, which sucks. I do like to avoid doing that, but I think we'll start very simply and, well, start very simply. Plain and simple, what I'm going to do here is bring a train line straight out of Detroit and down to this lower side of Amarillo. So we'll bulldoze these houses and all that stuff, and we'll go in and get ourselves a... You know what? We'll do a passenger station. We want 4 tracks. Actually, we want 2 tracks because we don't want to go too crazy here. And we'll just go ahead and put this thing, I want to say right about there. I might smooth out the terrain first, though, just to make things nice and even. And then this guy can go right about, I want to say there. We'll make it nice and long as well. And that should be fine. So right about there. And then down to Lafayette. I think we'll bring it so it comes through there. I think we'll bring it to this top side of Lafayette. And what we'll do is connect these roads together as well. So we have a nice straight road going across there. We can bring this guy around and it's just going to go right at the end of that road. Something a bit like, well, something like there, but I also want to smooth this out as well. So the ground looks a little bit less silly, which it now does. And this guy can live right about there. So that's perfect. We can absolutely connect that all together. And I think the easiest way to connect this together is going to be to go from here. We'll extend this right all the way up to here. The game gets very, very laggy when I do this, but that works. That just gives us a really nice straight shot between the two. It should keep the speeds pretty good and should keep everything all right. So we'll go ahead and do the same right here in the opposite direction. Going down to Lafayette, turn off parallel tracks so it doesn't get weird. And now we just need to connect it to Detroit, which is good. I'm having one of those days, by the way. I'm having one of those days where I'm speaking faster than, or I'm thinking faster than I can keep up with, if that makes sense. It's why I'm, like, stuttering in certain words. I'm thinking about what I want to say and thinking about what I'm about to say, but I can't actually say it fast enough. It's just one of those days, man. It's just one of those days. I've had a lot going on recently. I've been doing a lot of things. Been working a bit. I've been working on stuff around the house. I've been doing just all sorts. Just one of those weeks is what it is, where I'm just thinking at a million miles an hour. And, you know, then I try to say something and it's like, oh yeah, I'm not that good at talking. Let's slow down a little bit. Okay, this was actually quite easy to set up. We have a little bridge that comes across here and connects Detroit down to Amarillo. So at this stage, all we need to do is set up our train line. So the way we'll do this is, oh boy, this will be the fun part because I'm thinking we're going to want to use another platform here in Philadelphia. So I actually happened to forget to go ahead and put in some, happened to forget to put in some more tracks right here. So we'll do a little something. Oh, that is going to look nasty, isn't it? Do a little something like this. Bring this, you know what? Let's get rid of you. We'll get rid of all of this just while we figure this out. We might actually have to take that road sort of down and around all of these tracks. That might not be a bad idea. Just bring that right back to there, bring you back to there. We'll see how this goes. But what I want to do for now is I want to go from here to there. And that should give us a bit of parallel track, which it does. And then I want to bring this guy over to here. And I want to bring this guy over to here. And then we need to move this signal back to right about here. And we'll also move a signal to about there. And that should keep us pretty good. The trains are going to come in on the right. They're going to have to cut over to the, well, my left here. So they'll have to do a little something like this at some stage, which is all right. So the train comes out, trains coming in will have to stop there. Trains coming out will have to stop there. And that should be good. That should give us everything we need for this space. And I guess what we'll do in terms of roads is bring this guy the entire way back to there. And I guess I'm going to want to bring this straight out there, which is maybe going to look a bit weird if I do this, but I'm going to go for it anyway and see how it turns out. And there we go. I suppose this sort of works out. It creates this big old corridor down here in Lower Philadelphia, but that should be fine. So now what we can do is go ahead and try and set up this new line. So it's going to be cargo. Well, it's going to be a couple of things, isn't it? I totally forgot that we're doing, well, we're starting with cargo. We'll take passengers eventually. So we'll start with cargo in Philadelphia, and it goes to cargo in Detroit. And then these are technically passenger stations, which is kind of a problem, but that's all right. All of the tracks are set up properly, though, by the looks of it. So that's all right as well. And I guess, so you come through there. It doesn't need to come straight back to Detroit, I suppose. It does need to be picking up cargo in Detroit, though. So as it comes through, I guess, oh, it's on the wrong side of the tracks completely right there. That's not good at all. In Philadelphia, I need it to be on platform 2, I think, which is now a problem because it can't connect all of the stations. Is that because it's trying to go to the wrong place in Detroit? It might be. In fact, I think it absolutely is. So it needs to be platform... Well, actually, why is it... Huh. Have I not set this up right at all? Oh, no. That's actually not okay either. Oh, man. This is a total mess. Although apparently just adding a waypoint right here has fixed the entire thing. So now everybody is on the right side of the track. I think you come in, you come out. That seems good. It is going to the wrong platform in Philly still. So let's try platform 3. And that seems to be working perfectly. So that's good. So it can pick up food in Philadelphia. It can come in and pick up some bricks in Detroit. And then it will drop all of those off in Amarillo and Lafayette. So I guess what we need to do here is very, very simply figure out where the bricks and the food need to go, which is going to be some road work right here. So looking at it, the bricks and the food actually need to cross Amarillo. So we'll do a truck unload stop, I guess right there for now. Although I kind of want it to be 2 sets of trucks. So let's do one here, and let's do one here. And we'll do a station, which is going to have 2 platforms, and it can go, you know, right in between all of these buildings. So rotate it around a little bit. We'll just sort of slap the thing, I want to say, right about, well, what about right in that corner? I think right there is pretty good. I could rotate it a little bit, but I think there is pretty solid. We'll move it back a little bit just to get some room. And we'll do that. And that seems all right. We can configure this as well. We can put some, you know, a nice building right there. Put a little building. Well, not right there, apparently. I can get another large building here as well. So we'll do a bit of that. And I don't think we're going to need to expand it too much. So that seems good. That'll give us a line that goes to those 2 drop-offs. And then in Lafayette, we're going to be looking probably food going to these houses, right? Oh no, food is going to those guys. So again, we're crossing town. That's fine by me. We'll swing this around the way we have done before. We'll just slap it right about, I'm going to say right about there, I think. And then the drop-offs can be I want to say here and here. Okay, let's get those lines done. Let's get some vehicles into the two towns. Let's get a train going back and forth and also some cargo platforms on these guys as well. And let's see what happens. So starting with Amarillo, we'll go ahead and we'll just put ourselves a road depot or depot right about here. We'll get ourselves, I guess, we'll not go too crazy with this. We'll go for 3 of you guys. I don't know what color Amarillo is going to be. Let's go for that dark purple. That seems pretty good. And we'll go ahead and clone all of you as well. So we'll have 6 vehicles. And what we're going to do is, this is our train line. So let's just rename this. This is train cargo. It is Philly/Detroit. Oh boy, there's going to be a lot. Food, brick to Amarillo. We'll sort of abbreviate it. And just to do that for Lafayette. It's a bit of a messy looking thing, but we'll go for the yellow on that one as well. And then for a new line, we're going from here to there. And I guess this one is road cargo, Amarillo. And I guess this one, what's that one? Brick, I think. So that's Amarillo brick. And then another new line is going from here to there. And it's going to be road cargo, Amarillo. It's food, isn't it? So food. And then we need a color. So let's go for, we went for purple, right? So we'll go for that nice purple color. That's all set up. So you guys, we'll go 1, 2, 3 and put you on the brick line. We'll put you 3 on the food line. And that's all sorted. The only thing missing is that we need some cargo platforms in here. So let's just take a quick look at that line and see how it goes. It's a Philly line. It's a messy line as well. It is this one. So it stops on platform 3, I think. Hold on a minute. What terminal is here? Yeah, so 3 is this one, I think. It's a bit weird, but yeah, I think 1 and 3 is apparently here. So what we can do, I guess, is configure this guy. And I guess we just put some platforms along here, right? So we'll do some platforms. We'll do some tracks. And we'll do a bunch more platforms on the left. And then all I really need to do here is grab myself some more tracks, go to parallel, bring this guy out a little bit to about that spot. We'll turn off parallel tracks and just bring this right over to there and bring this guy right over to about there. So that gives us the cargo section. We'll do the same thing on this side up to about that spot, and the same for the parallel one. And then all we need to do is bring you sort of over to about there and bring you back to about there. So it slows down a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. This signal is going to need to move though, and we'll replace it with here. We'll put one there as well. And that should give us about everything we need. We are also going to want a waypoint on the way back though, because I need to go ahead and take a look at this line. So manage, it's currently going through, that's fine. In Amarillo though, I need it to go to a different platform. Although I don't think it can right now, perhaps because we have no cargo buildings. That might be the reason. Actually, no, that's not the reason at all. Delete the Amarillo one, go to Forest Street, add a station there. Now it's doing what I want. And then on the way back from Lafayette, I need it to go here. So it cuts through the cargo area. And then it comes back to Detroit where there's a waypoint as well. Okay, so that's the cargo setup done in Amarillo. Now for Lafayette. And Lafayette gets pretty much the same setup as Amarillo with the cargo platforms. Now it's just going to need itself a road depot, which I figure we'll go ahead and put up here with all the industrial stuff. So we'll throw it right about, I want to say there is probably good enough. And then in terms of everything else, I mean, it has the stations. So all we need to do is create some lines. And that's going to be from here to there, which I guess we'll say is road cargo Lafayette. And I suppose that one is food, I think. Pretty sure that one's food if we have a little look at the thing. Yeah, that one's the food line. And then the other one is going to be road cargo from here to there. So let's get that renamed. And that is going to be Lafayette and brick. And then for a color down here, I mean, we went for purple. We've got a nice dark green right there. I kind of like the dark green. I think it looks pretty good, although it's quite close to Fargo's green. So let's go for something else. Let's go for this kind of, this lilac-y color. We'll go for that. It's a bit different. I don't think we've used that anywhere. We've used pink, but we haven't used that exact color. So that's fine. And then we need some vehicles, of course. So we'll go in, we'll get these guys. We'll go for 6 of them to begin with. We'll make them the same color. We'll grab 3 of them and put them on the Lafayette brick line. We'll put the other 3 on the Lafayette food line. And now we just need a train. And we probably need to set up the very specific pickups and unloading and all that stuff for the train line as well. So let's actually very quickly do that as well. So we need to be very careful with. So manage the line. In Philadelphia, you are going to be loading up on specifically food. And then in Detroit, you are going to be loading up on construction materials. In Amarillo, you're going to be unloading the construction materials and the food. And in Lafayette, you are going to be unloading the construction materials and the food as well. So it should split it automatically based on demand in those 2 locations, and that should be fine. I guess, wait a minute, there is absolutely 0 brick in here right now. How did that happen? That's not where brick goes. That's where food goes. Never mind. I was really concerned that we'd gone from like this to nothing, but no, I was looking at the wrong place. That's all right. This should sort itself out in time as well. Also, this really annoys me. So I'm just going to just get rid of that road real quick and just very quickly do that because it looks better. All right. So we need a train. That's all we're looking for at this stage. It's brick and it's food. And we have a new train as well. We have the 10-wheeler, which is much faster. So I'm going to have to upgrade all of my trains to the 10-wheeler, which can do 62. But can the wagons do 62? No, they can do 31. The wagons are all limited right now, but we have some money, so we'll do what we can do. So the 10-wheeler is where we'll start. And then for cargo, what can we do? We can do food in the box cars and flat cars for the bricks. So let's do this color for the box cars, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. And we'll do the same color for these guys as well. So we'll go up to a capacity of 140. It is a relatively long train. It's a relatively expensive train, but I'm hoping this works. I'm hoping this ends up being a good thing. I also want to see what that train looks like. It looks pretty good, actually. I like it a lot. Okay. So we'll see how this goes. We should, in theory, see food start to build up in here a little bit as demand kind of figures itself out. And then down here, we should see bricks eventually getting put onto the food and brick to whatever line as well. In theory. It's a very big in theory, but eventually the game will figure out what it's doing. Hopefully. Speaking of figuring itself out, it's actually looking like this place is going quite well in terms of bringing some crude oil over here, which is fantastic news. And hopefully that means that these trains are actually going to fill up a little bit. I'm really, really hoping that's what we start to see here. These trains filling up and bringing more fuel down to everywhere, essentially. That would be a lovely thing to see. And then in here, in good old Philly, I'm hoping we eventually see some food get stockpiled in there as well. Really hoping for that one. This is our... No, that's not the new train at all. This is not the new train either. That's the new train, which is going to have nothing on board currently. Still no brick ready to go out of Detroit either. Let me just make sure I did set up the line properly. So it gets to Forest Street, and it's picking up brick, which it's not doing at the minute. And I guess that's okay. Again, the game will take a little bit to figure out what it's doing and how it's doing it and all that good stuff, and that's just how the game works. I'm just kind of hoping that we eventually see some stuff out of that one, or I'm going to be a little concerned. Oh, there we go. Now we're starting to see a little something something, and I do mean a little something something. There's not a whole lot getting put onto that platform right there, but that's, I guess, just the way things are going to be, isn't it? It'll eventually balance itself out. I'm wondering if the reason that's happened is because I went and built some cargo buildings by all of these stations. That might have done it. I did the same down here in Lafayette as well, so hopefully we're going to see things start moving around. Looking at Philadelphia, we don't currently have any food waiting in here, which is slightly disappointing, but I'm hoping that'll kind of figure itself out. We'll start to see deliveries come down from Fargo and everything will be okay. What are you moving? That is a slag and brick train. This is a food train. And honestly, I really do think I'm going to have to upgrade all of my trains, because I reckon we're probably very close to getting some new wagons. Which means the trains are probably very close to being able to go a little bit faster. So I might start with this Meat Food Philly line. Although I do want to see first if perhaps we're going to see some food get left here in the station, and we absolutely are. That is perfect. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and go to this line, manage the vehicles, select all of them, and we'll modify them a little bit. So you, and you all lose your train. We want to get the 10-wheeler in here, and we'll start with train 11, adding the 10-wheeler to the front. Train 3, we'll add the 10-wheeler there, and train 4, we'll add it right there. So we'll go ahead and replace all of those, which should give you a nice new shiny train at the front. It absolutely does. We also have a bunch more food coming in here, so we should see even more of that get stockpiled to head down to Amarillo and Lafayette. And how are you doing? There's not that many people wanting to go to Laredo. I mean, we kind of knew that would be the case, but I was really hoping that, you know, maybe people would be keen. Regardless, we'll replace that train as well, because we can, and just, you know, gradually get everything upgraded a bit. And we'll do the same with you as well, just to, like I said, gradually sort of upgrade everything ahead of time, so that when we do get the new wagons, things are just faster. That's the goal here. I also didn't mean to do that. Bring you back down, click on you, add you, and modify. And then for you, we want to manage the vehicles, we want to modify those, and we want to pull you out, go for you in, you know what, let's do a white one this time, and see what it ends up looking like. I'm kind of curious to see what this thing looks like in white. And it's actually kind of cool. I've got to be honest. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Oh, now there's an interesting thing going on right here. If we go ahead and pin this for a second, the meat to train line has a frequency of 24, a rate of 179. The grain livestock meat line that's providing it is 272. So we need to go in and manage the vehicles here, and let me grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, duplicate those guys, and that brings us to 232. Duplicate again, and that brings us to 285. So that's okay. I don't hate that. We'll sell one of them and see if it brings us down a little bit towards 271. We'll sell another one, and that brings us down to 260, which is a bit more in line with what I'm looking for. It's going to balance itself out a little bit, but at the very least, we shouldn't see this massive stockpile, and we should see more food, or more meat anyway, coming into Philadelphia, which is good because it will keep the food production going, and that's what we're looking for. As for, is that an older train? That is an older train. Let me manage the vehicles on that line and get them replaced with the new 10-wheeler. So you will go for, I guess we'll go for white on these ones as well, just to be a bit different. So something like that, we'll modify. And that looks all right, so it can head about and do its thing. And again, when the wagons upgrade, it'll be faster. Detroit still has a ridiculous amount of brick, but it is getting split quite nicely for the other two towns. And then down here, are you getting anything right now? Still nothing, but that's, again, to sort of be expected. And probably still nothing down here as well, which is, again, to be expected. So that's okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is come in here and change up this passenger line. I've already renamed it to Lafayette to Fargo, and that's going to be via Amarillo, via Detroit, via Philadelphia. but we need to extend the line itself. So we need to go into manage, and we need to say that obviously, you know, it's going to come down here to Spruce Street. But after Spruce Street, we need it to go down to Amarillo. So it's going to come down to here, and then it's going to continue down to Lafayette. It's going to then come back to Amarillo, where it needs to be on platform 2. And then it needs to come back to Spruce Street right about there, where it needs to be on platform 2 as well. Yep, absolutely. And then it goes back to Philadelphia, and then it goes to Fargo, back to Philadelphia, and it repeats itself. So that's good. That's hopefully going to get people moving up and down this entire line. And that is now the longest line that we have, which is very, very exciting. We still have the ability for people to come down from Laredo to Philly and then catch a train that connects them to all of those places. I'm curious to see if anyone's going to do that. But it does give us a nice long passenger line, and I'm at least kind of excited about that. What I'm also really excited about is that this train right here has just picked up a bunch of food and is now headed for Amarillo and Lafayette. So we should start to see some money coming off of this line, which is good. That's what we're looking for. It should also be able to pick up a bunch of bricks in Detroit, which has a ridiculous amount of them. But this thing, I think that train can carry maybe 70 bricks in total. So it's going to be able to pick up a full load of those and split it, you know, what is it, 35 to each town for each resource. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. I'm also kind of wondering, should I put a little road down here? I feel like I should put a road down here. I don't know if it makes any sense. I know we don't need it, but I think a road down here, I think that would look kind of cool if I was to, you know, connect it to things, right? So bring a road sort of like this, and then a road sort of like this. I think that looks neat. It just gives us, you know, a nice little perimeter for the station. Then this one's going to be a little bit sharper, but something kind of like that. I kind of like it. I do kind of like that. Gives us a little bit of access down here should we ever need it. And just like that, we have this guy coming into Detroit, picking up a bunch of brick and heading off to Amarillo. It's also interesting to me that it didn't pick up enough brick to really put a dent in any of this. That's kind of wild. That is actually kind of wild that it just... We need to be moving more of this stuff. And I think what we're going to do is we'll just go in, manage vehicles. I'm just going to duplicate this guy because I think we can probably get away with 2 trains on this line going up and down here. And to be quite honest, we might want to do the same for the passenger line as well, which I guess does have 2 trains on it, but a third one might not be the end of the world. Although one of them is actually down here, which is kind of cool. It's also got some people on board, which is also kind of cool. I wonder, should we do a little loop around Amarillo and Lafayette? I mean, there's people moving around, right? They actually have horses and carts and stuff like that now, so I don't know that we need to. I'm also curious to see what, there's 16 people here. Is anyone getting off of this train down here in Lafayette? That's the real question, I suppose. I guess we will certainly find out. Yeah, there's a couple of people got off of it. And then everyone else got on board and the train leaves and everything's fine. So that's good. We actually have reason for this train to exist. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, that makes me very happy. A lot of people waiting to go back to Philadelphia as well. And it just turned 1900. We got a lot of things. Yeah. So this is all the new passenger cars and box cars and gondolas and flat cars. Oh boy. All right. Let's have some fun on the big old Lafayette to Fargo line. In fact, every train ends up on the same line or same set of tracks at some point. So we might need to upgrade just about everything. This is gonna suck. This is gonna be such a process. So capacity of 160. All right. So let's see. Passenger, this thing. I don't know what color it ends up if I do this. What color? Oh, the entire thing gets painted. Okay. Oh man, what color do I want it to be? The train's white. So let's do... I kind of like that, like really deep purple. No, that seems like too much. Let's go for sort of a gray. Let's do like this big kind of white looking train, right? It's also a bit longer than the existing one, but sure, we'll do that. Then we'll come down to you and we'll do exactly the same thing. So we'll have, you know, this big old train. It's 18 million to modify those, which is a lot of money, but that does look kind of cool. It does look kind of cool. So I'm okay with that. And that entire train should now be faster, right? It should be able to get up to speeds it wasn't able to get earlier. I think it's going to go from 31 miles an hour to 50. The only problem is every other train is going to be considerably slower. So we need to make a bunch of money so I can upgrade every other train. Although at least for now, the line to Lafayette and Amarillo is not too crazy. It's not got too many trains on it. So in theory, it should be able to get up to speed down there. So at the very least, I have managed to go around and upgrade some of the trains. So the Meat Food Philly line has been upgraded with some new wagons. So it is now nice and fast, and it does get up to speed sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. It can also carry a little bit more than it could previously, and while it's carrying more, it is also a shorter train, which is good. That's kind of what we're looking for. I've also upgraded, I don't know, I've upgraded one or two other things around here as well. There's still plenty of trains to upgrade, but at the very least, I've upgraded some of them, and that's better than upgrading none of them. So I'll take it. I'm quite pleased with that. We also have a really good amount of food waiting to get out of the Philadelphia station, so hopefully we'll have one of the trains come up from Amarillo and Lafayette to pick all of that up. I'm also wondering how much it would cost to upgrade this guy, right? That's what I'm wondering right now. I'm also wondering how much fuel it moves on average, because I feel like it's probably not very much. Maybe we stop moving fuel to Detroit. Now it is getting a bit. It's getting a decent chunk. I guess what we'll do is just take a look and see how much it would cost to upgrade this guy. So we've got 3 trains, manage vehicles, go into modify. We'll let the game run while I do it. Don't need to pause it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in terms of capacity for box cars. So we'll take those out. We'll go ahead and grab the new one, which I'm going to make. I mean, the color doesn't really matter. Let's go for this sort of dark red, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, right? So we'll go for 5, and the capacity is already higher than it was previously. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the flat cars gone, and we'll do flat cars in, I don't know, we'll go for like a gray color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Capacity still higher. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those go. We want the new tank cars. We'll do the tank cars in, what about this dark blue this time? 1, 2, maybe not dark blue. It looks a bit silly. What about, I don't know, the dark purple again that they were before? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And it's a capacity of 180. So that's going to be 6 million to do all of that, which is kind of crazy to think about. But it's a shorter train by quite a bit. It's 58 meters shorter, and it is going to be faster as well. Top speed is going to be 47 miles an hour, which admittedly is slower than some of the other trains. If I took you off, it's still 47, 47, 47, still going to be 47 across the board. That's fine. That's actually the train going to be causing that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. We'll take the locomotive out. Replace it with the 10-wheeler in black, and the top speed's now 50. 7.7 million per upgrade. I think we can do that. I totally think we can do that. So what I'll do is modify that one, and then I'm going to be really cheeky and sell those 2, which is admittedly going to lose me some resources, but that's okay. And then I want to go grab you guys. I'm going to duplicate this guy. Just the once. This might actually be more expensive because we'll see. Then duplicate you again. Yeah, so that works fine. That gives us a faster train on that giant line. You know, it's a new train coming out of here. That's whatever. It looks pretty good, to be honest. And we got these nice big tank cars at the back. Capacity on this thing is higher than the old versions. So I see this as an absolute win. So basically we've done good stuff here. We've managed to upgrade a bunch of the trains. We are a little bit broke right now, but everything will figure itself out. We have a bunch of people wanting to move in and out of Detroit. We have some stuff coming down to this end of the map, which is giving us some growth in Amarillo, which is fantastic. We should see some growth in Lafayette as well, which I think it has gone up, which is all right by me. So not bad. All in all, not bad. Oh dear. What's going on here? What's up? So you are stuck at the minute. Why? Why are you having some trouble? What are you supposed to be doing? Why are you on that side of the track? It's more the question. Hold on a minute. Oh, I see. Wait, how are you? Oh, I see what's going on. All right, we need to remove that signal because that train is way too long. Okay. So that guy can move up, but it's still going to be stuck. So you need to turn around and go back. And that's going to let this other train kind of move past, and then this train will have to stop here rather than stopping there. So if I flick you around again, you should stop right there, which you do. Doesn't seem to block anything back there, which is all right. And that seems fine. In fact, what we could even go ahead and do is just put a signal right there. And yes, that'll block the road, but I think we'll just have to deal with that. So crisis averted, basically. Everything is fine. Everything is good. I think we're making money. At least I hope we're still making money. There's a chance that we're not. There's definitely a chance that all my messing around and buying things is now losing us money. I'm a little worried about that, but I think we'll be okay. I do think this needs to be more efficient, though. I definitely think this needs to be, you know, split into multiple stops, or maybe a station right here would be better. That might be what I have to do. A station right next to Philadelphia train station, rather than just a little drop-off point at the side of the road.